My name is Paul Wooten. I'm an Associate Justice of the New York State Supreme Court, Appellate Division, Second Department.
I first met Paul almost 30 years ago when I was running for the civil court in 1994. I needed to hire an election lawyer. Paul had a reputation as a brilliant election lawyer and someone who you could count on to do the right thing.
I met Justice Wooten, and I probably will jump around and say Paul because I've known him for so long, over 25 years ago. We were both at that time practicing attorneys, and he was recognized as the go-to individual for election law in Brooklyn.
You know, my family was born in Meridian, Mississippi at a time of deep segregation and at a time of slavery. My great-grandparents were slaves, and my grandmother was actually a maid in a white family. I just never thought that I would be 2 generations removed, and as a result of that, after 2 generations, that I would be in a position to be on the prestigious course at the State Appellate Division. My real aspirations was not really to be a judge. My aspiration was to be a civil rights attorney. So I had the privilege of presenting cases to the United States Supreme Court. I argued before the Honorable Thurgood Marshall in a major civil rights case in New York State, and I've even written legislation that was subsequently affirmed by the United States Supreme Court as being constitutional.
His pursuit of justice is incredible.
He was lead counsel on a number of landmark redistricting cases, which shaped the political landscape of New York City and New York State.
He believes that everyone who comes into the court has a right to be heard.
You know, it is a privilege to be able to join the ranks of attorneys in the state. And you have an ethical obligation to conduct yourself in a manner and in a way that reflects positively upon the bench, positively upon attorneys, and positively upon the people who you represent. That's a very high ethical standard, and it's a standard that I carry with me every day.
One of the things that he's also very interested in is in seeing diversity on the bench. He goes out every day to make sure that people understand that you are here and that you have not fulfilled your purpose if you do not bring someone else along the way. And that's one of the things that I find so tremendously honorable about him.
I'm a firm believer in the unseen hand theory, and that is that once you embark upon something, you never know how other people are inspired by you, and that unforeseen inspiration has an effect on what you do. I mean, my philosophy on life is talk to as many people as possible, inspire as many people as possible.
And I've learned a lot talking to Paul. He navigates through conflict with a smile, and he's very strategic in his own way.
I don't really do a lot for fun, but what I really enjoy doing is I'm actually a high school basketball referee. You get your uniform and you jump out there and you do high school basketball games, and it's very therapeutic.
Where we are now, nobody could have told us some 2.5 years ago that we would have been in the situation that we're in right now, that there was COVID and that we had to think of life differently and think of the court differently. Times that you hear in the newspapers, the courts are closed. That never happened. Never happened in the second department. We most often didn't get off the bench literally because we got motions that came in that we answered at 11 o'clock at night. Because we were on the computer and there was no time limitation, and he adapted to that so very well.
What's fulfilling for me is that, you know, in life, I am where I am because someone before me took a stand and sacrificed something tremendous. And I'm talking about sacrifice their life, their liberty, their career. And without that sacrifice, I wouldn't be where I am today. I feel that I have a moral obligation to come out and make sacrifices so that the people who come behind me have the same opportunities that I had when people sacrificed for me.
Congratulations, Justice Paul Wooten. Thank you for your lifelong commitment, guided by justice, and for all of your work encouraging us to look deep within ourselves to figure out what is possible for our community.
A well-deserved honor for him and for this organization to have reached the point where they highlight the career of this incredible jurist.
I want to give a heartfelt thanks to the Judicial Friends Association, and I just am very pleased to be part of it. So thank you very much for this award.